And that makes me think that I can really convince the jury to believe in me also. So please. Please talk to Judith and tell her it'll be all right.
Okay. Listen, why don't you have a glass of water here? Settle down a little bit. And I'll give it my best shot, okay?
Max? Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you for standing up and defending me like you did.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Judith, excuse me, I need to talk to you for a minute.
Max, can't it wait?
No, it can't. You have to put Tina up on the stand. She deserves to tell her side of the story, in her own words to the jury. Now, part of her panic is the fact that she's got to listen to all this garbage up here, and she can do nothing about it.
You know as well as I do, Herb's going to try and make her as hysterical as possible.
I know that. But she has it in her head that she can help herself. I think she can give Herb a run for his money. But you have got to give her that chance. Now, I know how hard it is to depend upon someone else, no matter how good they are, when this much is at stake. Now, please, Judith, this is her life. Give her the chance to defend herself.
Mother, have you called the doctor yet?
No, I'm feeling a little better.
Well, you don't look any better. You look terrible. I'm going to call him myself.
Charles, we have far more important things to discuss. Now come over here and sit down.
What is more important than your health?
The company. I need your help, Charles. I can't shoulder the burdens alone anymore. If you take a more active role, maybe I could give some thought to retiring gracefully and living to a ripe old age at leisure.
Mother, I was under the assumption, at least, that the company was running like clockwork.
It was until Patrick began making demands on me.
What kinds of demands?
This burn formula is an obsession with him, and he doesn't trust anyone else in the company. He comes to me daily with more money, for more space, for this, for that. He's just driving me to distraction.
Well, then why don't you just tell him to knock it off or find a different company to support him?
If his burn formula is successful, we'll make a great deal of money from it.
Ah, so then we're stuck with him.
I would prefer you to be stuck with him, dear. I can't handle the company myself anymore.
Mother, if you will recall, when I lost my ambassadorship, I volunteered to get back into the company, to take over whatever projects needed my attention. But no, you declined my offer. You not only
Good morning, Elizabeth. Charles?
Hello, Patrick.
What do you want?
Could I have a moment with you in private, please?
No. I would prefer it if you come back another time. My mother's not feeling well.
Well, I assure you what I have to say, Elizabeth will want to hear.
It's all right, Charles. I'll give him 5 minutes, no more.
All right. I'll make a phone call or two. 5 minutes.
Thank you. Elizabeth, I'm not here to make any demands on you. In fact, I know what I'm going to tell you will delight you.
You have got to forget those things that Tina said.
I hate being called a liar, especially in public.
She's just frightened right now. Herb is pulling out all the stops, and frankly, it is frightening me too.
Honey, the irony is, I don't think she's guilty of premeditated murder. I'm just telling the truth, and Herb is just twisting it all around. Damn it, I don't want to be here.
Honey, nobody does.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm complaining, and this must be horrible for you. They keep replaying your mother's death.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get my stomach to settle down again.
What are you doing here? Why don't you go home and spend some time with your son? You don't have to sit through all this.
I do, Kate, because there are some questions that I need to have answered. Now, all Tina does is lie to me, and I only get confused when I talk to your mother and Herb. I need to get some answers. I need to find out why my mother died.
Mr. Fraser, I'll be honest with you. I'm terrified of testifying.
Well, after everything that you've told me, I can understand that. But no matter what the DA asked you, you must answer truthfully.
And even if they put all the pieces together?
Well, then it's even more important that you answer truthfully. If you perjure yourself, you could wind up in jail.
But I can't let Tina be convicted from a crime that she didn't commit.
I sympathize with what you're going through. My advice to you is to protect yourself and hope that Judith Sanders can argue successfully for Tina's acquittal. If you maintain under oath that the child is Tina's, it'll be very difficult for you to gain custody of him once the trial is over.
Yes, to make matters worse, Tina's name appears on the birth certificate as Al's mother.
Oh, hi, there you are.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Hi.
Mr. Fraser, thank you for your time and your advice. I'll be in touch.
Would it help if I were in court this afternoon?
No, I'll be fine. I'll walk you to your car.
I can find my way out.
Well, thank you again.
You're welcome.
I know our living together is a terrible idea, but what I'm trying to say about this is if we give Mary Lynn a chance, it is much better than having her wake up in the morning and not want to live. We have to put the past behind us. Tom, we have to show her that we love her. Otherwise, the next time, Wade's not going to be there for her. She'll make sure of that.
I can't believe Marilyn would ever try that again.
How do you know that?
Well, look, look, what is it you want from me?
What I want is I want you to see that our daughter is desperate. Oh, Tom, look, she's 19 years old. She's got her future to look forward to. Marriage, children, college. She has to know that we love her, and she has to know that we're not going to deceive her again.
We'd deceive her if we lived together. She'd see it as a mockery. And frankly, I can't picture us living together at all.
You know what? You're really right about that one. She would see right through that charade, wouldn't she? I don't know. What do we do?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't...
Well, we have to do something, Tom. I mean, we can't stand here with our arms open hoping something is going to happen. We have to try to find some way, or else we'll regret this the rest of our lives.
Wasn't that the guy you met at the Holden Towers Lounge a little while back?
That's right.
Gabrielle, why do you need a lawyer?
Steve, I don't know anything about the laws of the United States. I've never been in court before. And now the district attorney has asked me in for questioning. It frightens me.
You could just talk to Judith Sanders.
Yeah, well, she's got her hands full with Tina.
Well, listen, it's nothing to be afraid of. Just be honest.
Oh, I wish I could just disappear for the afternoon.
Well, damn. You've been hanging around Tina so much, you're beginning to think like her.
Yeah, I know it's a dreadful idea.
Look, as long as you tell the truth, you've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Unless Tina has told you something that she hasn't told her lawyers. Unless maybe you know something Maria might have known, too.
I think I should go and get Al, give him to Wanda.
Look, just relax. I'm going to be there for you. In the courtroom and afterwards.
Thank you.
Does the witness understand she's still under oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Callison?
Ms. Sanders? Now, you testified earlier that when you confronted the defendant in Maria Roberts' suite shortly after Mrs. Roberts' body had been removed, that you did not show the blue bead to the defendant, the blue bead that you found on the floor. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you question her about it later?
No.
Did you give the bead to the police?
No, I gave the bead to Cord.
Cordero Roberts. Now, did he question the defendant about it?
Objection. The prosecution is wasting the court's time with this line of questioning. The defendant has admitted to struggling with Mrs. Roberts in order to avoid certain death. Now, her reluctance to discuss the bead with Miss Sanders is no bearing on her guilt or innocence.
If she is innocent, what does she have to hide?
Counselors, I'll sustain the objection and caution you both not to engage any further in debate with each other. Mr. Callison, will you please proceed to your next point?
No further questions.
You testified that Tina Roberts was in the lab at Sanders Chemicals the day the poison was stolen.
Yes?
Did you ever discuss your work with her?
No.
You didn't tell her about the chemicals you and Dr. London had in the lab, their properties, their dangers?
No, never.
Did Maria Roberts ever come to visit you in the lab?
Yes.
How many times?
Just once.
Do you recall the exact date?
I believe it was the day the poison was stolen.
Was this before or after Tina Roberts was there?
Before.
And what was the purpose of her visit?
She wanted me to talk to Cord and tell him how much she loved and needed him.
But she is his mother. She could have told him herself.
Objection. Once again, defense is placing the victim on trial.
The prosecution seeks to prove the defendant's guilt by placing her in the lab at the time the poison was stolen. We contend that others, including Maria Roberts, had access to the poison.
Objection overruled.
Why did Maria Roberts ask you to intercede on her behalf?
Because after Cord found out what his mother had done to Vicky, he refused to have anything to do with her.
Would you characterize her mood as upset?
More like, frantic.
Did you offer to help her?
No. I thought it was something that she and Cord needed to work out together.
So she was frantic because her son had turned his back on her, and then she asked you to help and you declined? Must have made her very upset.
Yes.
Did she argue with you?
She made it very hard for me, and she said that all her problems with Cord were Vicky's fault.
Did she mention the defendant?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But several hours later, after Maria Roberts had left, Tina came back with a wild story that Maria had told her. A story that you would never forget. A story that would place the defendant in the lab the time the poison was stolen. A very neat setup by Maria Roberts to frame the defendant.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is drawing conclusions.
Not conclusions, possibilities.
You're skating on some very thin ice here, Mrs. Sanders.
I know, Your Honor. Now, Maria Roberts' mood was
Objection. Now, the victim's actions, neither her actions nor her moods are the issue here.
Your Honor, that is not so. We have contended at the outset that the defendant was struggling against a woman who intended to kill Vicky Buchanan. Knowledge of her actions and mood are necessary and appropriate.
Counsel has a point here, Mr. Callison. I'll allow this line of questioning.
Did you at any time leave Maria Roberts in the lab alone?
No.
Are you positive?
Yes, because after I refused to help, she went storming out.
Storming out?
Yes, she almost knocked into Patrick. He was coming in with...
Please continue. Patrick London was coming through the door.
He was coming through the door, and he had a vial of marginotoxicol, and Maria almost knocked him down.
Did Dr. London tell her what he was holding?
Yes. Yes, he told her it was a deadly poison, that it could kill instantly, and she'd have to be more careful.
Objection.
Sweetheart, please get rid of that gun.
Just a little protection in case you run into Sid or Leonard. If they found out I'm alive, we're in big trouble.
Where do you think you're going?
To the club to have a little talk with John. Don't worry. I'm just going to see if he's interested in splitting the million 50-50. Have him keep his mouth shut and just take a little heat from the cops, you know?
Frank, I don't think you're going there to make a deal with him. I think you're going there to kill him.
Sandy, I wouldn't do anything like that.
Sweetheart, I know you, and you would not split $1 million with anybody, especially John. And especially since the loan sharks are breathing down my neck.
You're right. Normally I wouldn't, but getting $500,000 is better than nothing. After we split town, we'll invest it and make a fortune.
Sweetheart, I think we need to leave town right now. We'll just go...
No, we're too close. I'm not running away from all that dough.
This is our one chance. The loan sharks think you're dead, and they're going to get off my back pretty soon, and we can go someplace and we'll start fresh.
Sit tight. I won't be long.
Sweetheart, I love you. I don't need that money, but I need you. Now, we made a gamble, and and we lost. So please, let's just forget it and start our lives all over again.
Sandy, honey, take your hands off me.
I'm not going to let you do this, Frank.
I love you, hon. I do. I really do. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Are you interested in justice or simply winning a case?
What? I won't even dignify that with an answer.
Well, if you care about justice, you will at least give me the leeway to prove that Maria was trying to kill Vicky and that she tried to kill Tina when she interfered.
You have nothing to support that contention.
I placed Maria in the lab the day the poison was stolen and established her knowledge of its deadly properties.
All right. Enough of this now, enough. A fair warning, Mrs. Sanders. The minute I find you leading the witness...
I understand, Your Honor. After your confrontation with the defendant about this preposterous story that Maria Roberts told her, did you ask Maria Roberts about it?
Yes, she denied everything. She said that Tina was lying.
Did you believe her? Did you?
No, I believe Tina.
Did Maria Roberts make up with her son, Cord?
No.
Did she ask for your help?
Yes, but I refused again.
How did she react?
She was furious, and she was kind of paranoid. She thought everybody was out to get her. And she blamed everything on Tina and Vicky. She was completely irrational.
Objection. The witness is not a psychologist.
No, but she's a scientist. Sensible, intelligent, and perfectly capable of recognizing irrational behavior. Overruled.
Do you think Maria Roberts was capable of stealing the poison and planning Vicky's murder?
Well, I'm going to have to object to that, too.
Overruled.
Do you think Maria Roberts was capable of murder?
She was so full of hatred, and she needed help so badly. Yes, I think she was capable of murder.
It's been very tough for me to let go. You know how much I love Kate. But I know that she loves Cord now, and that, well, he comes first in her life. I had no right to make demands on you that you step down and let Kate take over the company. Would you please accept my apologies?
Very well.
Thank you. I still want to continue the project at Sanders Chemical. And I promise that I will knock myself out to complete the testing and make sure that the formula is approved for FDA approval.
I suppose now that you have made your presentation to the medical conference, any number of other companies will want to hire you away from Sanders Chemical.
Well, that's true, but I really don't trust them to leave me alone so that I can get the work done. And I don't want to get bogged down with company politics, as they say.
Oh, Payson, as usual, you've read my mind.
I have some telephone messages for you, madam.
Oh, Patrick, if you wouldn't mind pouring.
Certainly. It'll be a pleasure.
Let's see here. Oh, yes. If Mr. Atkins will call Sir Telemark, these two I'll take care of later, I think. And, okay. That's it. Thank you, Patrick.
Here you are, Elizabeth.
Well, Patrick, I wish you good luck in the final step of your long journey.
Thank you.
Miss Sanders, you testified that Maria Roberts was distraught when she left the lab on the day the poison was stolen. So distraught that she didn't see Dr. London entering and almost knocked him over.
Yes, it would have been a disaster if the poison was spilled.
Well, is it possible that Miss Roberts was so distraught that she didn't even hear him say anything about the poison?
Objection calls for a conclusion.
Oh, well, I should think that a sensible, intelligent scientist could read the reactions of Mrs. Roberts quite accurately.
Objection overruled.
Thank you. Now, is it possible that in her extreme emotional state, Maria Roberts never heard Dr. London mention the poison?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Thank you. No further questions.
The court appreciates your cooperation, Miss Sanders. Mr. Callison, you may call your next witness.
Yes. The Commonwealth calls Dr. William Dunn.
Dr. William Dunn.
Who is he? Maria's doctor from El Paso. Herb's trying to prove Maria was sane.
Take your right hand, please.
Did she see him after she started flipping out?
I don't think so. I don't know why Herb wants him to testify.
I think we got a chance to score some more points.
Are you feeling better?
Look, thanks. Thanks for getting the truth out of Kate.
I'm sorry. I didn't plan to say all those things. I didn't even remember about the poison and Patrick and your mother. Mother is just pushing me so hard.
I guess my mother just involved everybody with her little plan to kill Vicky, huh? Lord, how can somebody be so hateful?
Sweetheart, she was sick.
Yeah, maybe she was. Or maybe she was just plain evil.
I refuse to believe that. Honey, she didn't know the difference between right and wrong anymore.
Yeah, well, I guess it really doesn't matter, does it?
Yes, it does, because if she was sick, you can understand that, and you can put it behind you someday.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know that we are ever going to be able to put any of this behind us. Why is it every time I turn around, I feel like I'm getting kicked in the teeth by some new surprise? When the hell is all this going to end?
You know, when Mary Lynn disappeared, all right, we put aside our loathing for each other and concentrated on her. Could we do that?
What, are you suggesting a truce?
Yes. Well, thousands of divorced couples live peaceful lives in the same towns all over the country. I mean, it's not the perfect family that Mary Lynn would like, but it's a suitable compromise, and if we manage to be civil to each other, I don't see... Huh?
Well, I'll tell you. I'm certainly willing to try that.
I want to make something clear, Lee. Very clear. First move you make towards Mary Lynn, to turn her against me, I'll fight you with everything I've got. You understand that?
Tom, I have done nothing to fight against taking Mary Lynn from you. You're the one who's done that to me.
I said I'm willing to try.
Okay, that's fine. I just don't want you to blame anything on me, all right? Oh, boy. Here we go. We're off to a great start.
Yeah, marvelous. Well, after all, it's a compromise, not a miracle. If we're honest with each other and honest with Mary Lynn, it could work. It might just work.
If I'm wrong about this one. What do you know? A perfect match. Welcome to Frankie's. Or maybe I should say welcome back to the land of the living. Drop the gun, Frankie. Drop it. Come on.
I just came to make a deal with you, John.
No deals, Frankie.
Tell me something. How did you find out that I was still alive?
Well, I figured it was a setup after Sandra changed her story. You know, it's real funny. I told her not to get involved with a creep like you back in college, but she wouldn't listen.
So I was right about you two after all. You were having a fling. Sandra couldn't stand losing you, so she told you the whole story, didn't she?
No, Frankie, I figured it out all by myself. Yeah. She fooled me for a while. She's a good actress. I just didn't figure she'd be that greedy. Let me tell
How are you feeling now, Mother?
Oh, a little better. A cup of tea seemed to help.
Good. Then Patrick didn't distress you any?
No, he seems to have come to terms with losing Kate. Actually, we had rather a pleasant visit.
Well.
Oh, Payson was just in asking about lunch.
Oh, no thanks, Mother. I'm going to go over and see Lee. She's going through a very difficult time right now. I want to be there to support her.
Support her, indeed. She's the most independent woman I've ever known. She wouldn't give you the time of day if you weren't the rich and powerful Charles Sanders.
Really? You mean looks and charm don't count for anything?
It's nothing to joke about, Charles. The woman is totally unsuitable for you, and I am surprised at your lack of judgment.
I think that's just tradition between you and me, Mother. You never seem to approve of the women in my life. There was Marisa and Judith, and now Lee.
You've only known her a few weeks. How would you possibly be serious about her?
Oh, but I am. I find her to be kind, caring, intelligent, and very attractive. Yes, I find her to be very attractive.
Charles, Charles?
Mother, what is it? Mother?
Herb, you were taking a big risk here. This could explode in your face. I'm right, we've got our conviction.
State your name and be seated, please.
Gabrielle Medina.
Counselor?
Miss Medina, you're not an American citizen, are you?
No. I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
That's where you met the defendant?
Yes.
Now, you and the defendant were held hostage in a cabin in a jungle by two men who were trafficking in cocaine.
Yes, Jamie Sanders and my father.
Jamie Sanders killed your father. And then he tried to escape using Tina Roberts as a hostage, is that correct?
Yes.
But subsequently, Jamie Sanders was shot, fell out of the boat he was trying to escape in. The boat went over the Iguazu Falls with the defendant still in it. Yes.
Yes.
Everyone thought she was killed, but as we can all see, somehow she managed to survive.
Where is he going with this?
She was rescued by Indians.
Yes.
Is it also true that you found her in the jungle and helped her return to Buenos Aires?
How did you find that out from Jamie?
I don't know.
Miss Medina, will you please answer my question?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Shortly after the defendant returned to Landview, you followed her here, did you not?
Actually, I had business here with Delilah Garrickson.
Well, actually, you and the defendant had developed quite a close relationship. Isn't that true? For instance, at the baptism of Tina and Cord's baby, you gave that child a cross which had been given to you at your own baptism.
Your Honor, this line of questioning is totally irrelevant.
If Your Honor will hear me out, I will show that these questions are indeed relevant and have a great bearing on this case.
Objection overruled, but Mr. Callison, please get to the point.
Yes, thank you. I will indeed. Miss Medina, did you give Tina Roberts' baby a cross?
Yes, I did.
Did you recently give up your career as a fashion designer in order to take care of Tina Roberts' baby?
I never gave up my career.
You did move into Landfair, did you not?
Yes.
Why did you think that was necessary, Miss Medina? Why does the defendant's baby mean so much to you?
If you maintain under oath that the child is Tina's, you'll have a very difficult time claiming him once the trial is over.
Tina, she needed a friend, and
But your main concern wasn't the defendant. It was the baby. Why is the fate of that child so important to you?
The time is...
I hope that Tina is at least gracious enough to thank you for helping her out.
Yes, at the expense of your mother and you.
Honey, I can't have it both ways. I've either got to accept the fact that my ex-wife is capable of committing murder or that my mother was. You know, at first I didn't want to believe any of those things that people were saying about her, that she was doing all those things to Vicky. I kept hoping... Lord, I know what I was hoping. It's just so difficult to accept the fact that my mother was so far gone. I'm just grateful that Al is so young that he won't understand any of this.
Yeah, me too.
And again, maybe someday I'm going to have to explain it all to him. I just wanted things to be perfect for him. I wanted him to have everything.
baby, but you know what? Unfortunately, it's not a perfect world.
Yeah. But he is going to be a lucky fellow because you will have the most wonderful stepmother in the whole world.
And the most terrific daddy in the whole universe. Whom I love so much.
Miss Medina, will you tell the court why you have put your career on hold and moved into Landfair to care for another woman's child?
Tina and I are friends.
Well, perhaps, but it seems to me you've sacrificed a great deal for her.
I haven't stopped working. I still design for Delilah Garretson.
How many designs have you sketched in this past month? 10, 20?
I don't know.
Can you make a guess?
Objection, Your Honor. I don't see how the number of designs Miss Medina has sketched has anything to do with this case.
You care to explain, Counselor?
Yes. I'm trying to establish how much time Miss Medina has spent on her work and how much she spent with the baby.
I don't see what bearing this has to do with this case.
Yes, I'll withdraw the question. All right, Miss Medina, one more time. Why is Tina Roberts' child so important to you?
Good afternoon, I'm Bill Hutchison. Iran is vowing revenge for an American attack on an Iranian ship in the Persian Gulf. At least 3 Iranians were killed and 2 other sailors are missing following the assault by an American military helicopter. The U.S. claims the ship was planting mines in the Gulf. Iran denies that charge. It insists the vessel was simply carrying food. The U.S. says it found more mines on board. Iranian President Ali Khamenei told the United Nations this morning that his country will retaliate for the attack on the ship. He threatened the U.S. will be sorry for its aggression. Khamenei also rejected the UN proposed ceasefire in the 7-year-old Persian Gulf War. President Ronald Reagan, meanwhile, says the attack on the Iranian ship was fully justified and that the only aggressor in the Gulf has always been Iran. He's recommending sanctions against Iran until that country agrees to the ceasefire in its war with Iraq. More news at 6.
Maybe I'll go over to Landfair and check out little Al, see how he's doing.
No, why don't I go over? I haven't seen him in a really long time.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, well, that would be great.
Excuse me. Are you Kate Sanders?
Yes.
Well, you have a telephone call.
Thank you.
Oh, I'll wait right here.
Okay. Hello?
Kate, it's your dad.
Hi.
Hi. Have they called you in to testify yet?
Yes, thank goodness it is all over.
Katie, I want you to come right home. Your grandmother's very sick. She collapsed a few minutes ago.
I'm on my way. Bye.
Honey, what's wrong?
My grandmother's really sick. I have to go home.
Oh, no, you want me to go with you?
No. I can handle it. Oh, shoot, I was going to go over and stop over and see Al.
Oh, that's all right. You just get going. I'll call Juan and make sure he's all right. You give him my love, all right? Bye.
When Vicky and Clint Buchanan took their children to Switzerland for Joey to be treated for his asthma, they also took the children's governess, Kim. That left Tina without anyone to help her.
Yes, aren't there agencies that specialize in nannies and nursemaids?
I suppose
Why
so.
didn't the defendant hire a professional?
It seemed better if I was...
Did she ask you to move into Landfair, or was it your idea?
Mr. Callison, Tina and I are friends, and I believe this entire proceeding is totally unjust. Tina did not murder Maria Roberts. She was defending herself and her sister.
I'm not interested in your opinion of the defendant's innocence or guilt.
Objection. Counsel is badgering the witness.
Sustained. Watch yourself, Mr. Callison.
I want the record to show that Miss Medina is a hostile witness.
Well, perhaps she might be more forthcoming if you stopped badgering her.
All right. Whose idea was it that you moved into Landfair?
Mine.
Ah. All right, Miss Medina, would you tell me, please, about the defendant's rescue from the Indian tribe in Argentina?
There isn't much to tell. I heard a rumor that an American woman was being nursed back to health by one of the tribes. So I went looking for her.
Why were you in the jungle?
I was staying at my father's cabin.
Alone?
Yes.
Miss Medina, tell me, what prompted you to live alone in a jungle cabin in the middle of the rainy season instead of in your own home in Buenos Aires?
It was something I chose to do.
Objection. This line of questioning has no bearing on the case.
Give it up, Counselor.
No more questions.
Mrs. Sanders?
You were good friends with Maria Roberts.
I knew her.
How did you meet her?
She introduced herself when I moved to Lambview. She told me she didn't hold me responsible for my father's crimes.
That was very generous of her.
I thought so, too. Till I found out it was all lies, a way to befriend me and use me.
How was she trying to use you?
She felt somehow I was a key to hurting Tina.
I don't understand.
Maria didn't want Tina anywhere near Cord, and she was frantic that Tina might win him back.
Especially since Tina had given birth to Cord's son in the jungle and brought him back.
Yes.
How was Mrs. Roberts using you?
She kept pumping me for information. When I found out she was just using me to get to Tina, I told her I wanted nothing more to do with her.
How did she react?
She was livid. She was absolutely determined to destroy Tina. I was quite frightened for Tina.
Objection.
Sustain. Strike that last comment from the record.
Did Mrs. Roberts actually tell you that she was going to destroy Tina?
Yes.
No more questions. Thank you, Miss Medina.
Mr. Callison, you wish to redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Then you may step down, Miss Medina.
Decided on Plan B?
I have a short meeting scheduled with another justice if counsel will agree to a brief recess.
All rise.
Mrs. Sanders, would you mind if I talk to Tina in private?
No.
Gabrielle, you were wonderful.
I just lied. I certainly hope I don't get in trouble for it later.
No, but what you did there was wonderful for me. I mean, you know I'm innocent. You told everybody. You may have just saved my life.
I hope you're satisfied.
I'm going to be grateful to you for the rest of my life.
Good. Then you can return the favor. I've spoken to a lawyer about taking legal steps to reclaim Al. And I would appreciate your cooperation.
Look, Frankie, the cops think you're dead. Now, why don't you just put the guns down? Come on, you can leave town, you can leave the country, you can start over again.
With you hot on my tail? No way.
Come on, Frank, you don't want to kill us.
2 revolvers here say you're wrong. You know, I got this one. I stole it from Leonard. Smart, huh? I kill you, he gets arrested, Sandra gets the dough, and we're off to paradise. It's a foolproof scheme.
So you and Sandra were in on this together.
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't have worked without her. The problem here is Johnny's too smart for his own good.
Your beef's with me, not Cassie.
Oh, knock it off. She was with you the whole time, conning her way to my club.
What's the point in killing her, Frankie? Come on, let her go. It's me.
And let her run to the cops.
Looking for it.
John, don't.
What do you say, Frankie? Come on, me and you. All right?
Now when I am trying to fight for my life.
I want my baby back.
Now during my trial, what, do you just like kicking me when I'm down?
Tina, I just perjured myself for you. Now, perhaps lying under oath means nothing to you, but it goes against every moral issue that I've ever been taught. And I want to make you aware of that. I also want to make certain that you don't change your mind at a later point when all the pressure is off, so that you don't think that what I did for you was no big deal.
Gabrielle, please. Please don't do this to me.
I have done everything I can do to help you. Now it's your turn to help me.
I can't even think about this right now.
You have no choice. You took my baby under false pretenses, and you have done everything to stop me from reclaiming him.
No, you gave me your baby.
Without knowing the truth. Now I'm giving you fair warning. When this trial is over, no matter what the verdict, I intend to take my son. Now we can settle this matter quietly and privately, or I will drag you through every court in this nation and Argentina, if necessary, until I get him back.
Gabrielle. Gabrielle, what's going on between you and Tina?
Nothing. I just need some air.
Oh, wait a minute. What was that all about?
You know, Gabrielle, she's always upset about something.
Yeah, well, she did a bang-up job for you up there.
She might as well stab me in the back.
Tina, she stood up for you up there.
Oh, yes, she did. But she's gonna make me pay for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this court is back in session. All rise.
Be seated. Mr. Callison, call your next witness.
Your Honor, we have no more witnesses. The Commonwealth rests.
Mrs. Sanders.
Are you sure this plan of yours will work? Oh, it'll work, but we're running out of time. We may have to stall the proceedings. We better start working on some arguments for delay. When's she supposed to show? We should have been here by now.
The defense calls Max Holden to the witness stand.
I can't let your little kitten go. But sure, what a terrific guy I am. I'll shoot you first and give her a few more seconds to live.
Oh, God, John.
You're all hard, Frankie.
It's all my fault. I'm always messing things up for
Cassie,
you.
don't flick out of me now, baby.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have trusted you. John, I love you.
I love you, too.
I never thought I'd hear you say that.
I loved you for a long, long time.
You two lovebirds can continue this touching scene in whatever place dead private eyes go. Now say goodbye.
Dad, how is she?
Well, she's regained consciousness.
How long was she out?
5, 6 minutes, something like that.
Was it her heart?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Dad, Grams is never sick. I'm so scared.
I know, I am too, but we can't jump to conclusions now. Let's just wait. Dr. Wilcox will give us a diagnosis.
Kate, I thought you'd be at the courtroom. Something wrong?
My mother collapsed a little while ago, Patrick.
What happened?
We don't know. The doctor's up examining her now.
What is taking the doctor so long?
I don't know. But I do know your grandmother. She's probably arguing with him, telling him there's nothing wrong with me. I'm going to find out.
Kate, I'm very sorry about your grandmother. And I'm sorry that I put so much pressure on you in New York.
Patrick.
Look, you were right to leave me. I deserved it. I acted very selfishly. Would you please accept my apologies?
Yes, but I meant what I said before. I'm not going to let anything get in the way of my relationship with Cord. Not you, and not the project.
I understand that.
It's too bad we couldn't have gotten to this point without my hurting you.
Well, that's my fault. I played on your guilt in order to get you to work with me.
You know you can make it alone.
I know I can.
Once you eliminate the side effects, you're going to be famous.
Well, so will you. Did you mention the conference to your grandmother?
A bit.
Well, then you must know she's just as excited about the formula as I am. In fact, she said she's going to put the weight of the whole company behind it. Well, that's quite a turnaround from having to beg for lab space, right?
Patrick, Grams never gets sick.
Katie, your grandmother is not as young as she used to be. I mean, any small crisis could turn into a major one.
Kate.
How is she?
Well, better. She's awake, she's alert, and she wants to see you.
Well, give her my best, all right?
Go on up.
sorry about the china, Elizabeth, but I don't want anyone else swallowing the drug. If it does the trick, I'll get everything I want.
You don't want to do this, Frankie. You'll never get away with it.
God, I don't want to die. Nobody is going to die.
What the hell are you doing here?
Frank, I'm not going to let you do this.
We're 2 shots from a clean getaway.
2 shots away from the
Frank, please, you said in the beginning, no killing.
We're too close now.
Baby, put down the guns and let's try to work this out.
You're throwing away $1 million!
I don't give a damn about the money. It is not worth killing for.
Get out of here, wait in the car.
Frank, listen to me.
Get out of here, unless you want to see them die! Out!
I'm going.
Out!
So you came to Landview to borrow money from Mrs. Roberts.
Yes, to buy a ranch in Argentina.
Did she agree to the loan?
She did, but there were certain strings attached.
Could you be more specific?
She said she would give me the money if I would take Tina to Buenos Aires with me.
Was the defendant married to Cord Roberts at the time?
They were separated, and once Maria discovered I was very interested in Tina, she started turning up the heat.
Why was Mrs. Roberts so interested in getting Tina to leave the country?
Well, that was easy. She wanted to make sure that Cord and Tina didn't get back together.
That seems very extreme.
Well, Maria knew that Tina was pregnant with Cord's baby, and she didn't want Cord finding that out.
Why did the defendant go to Buenos Aires with you?
Well, she needed a break from all of her problems with Cord and her problems with Maria, but don't get me wrong here. We were just friends, and we pretended to be married so as not to offend Don Alonzo, but it was separate rooms, all very proper. She just needed vacation.
And Mrs. Roberts joined you on that vacation?
Well, yeah, when Cord found out that Tina was carrying his baby, he followed us down to Buenos Aires, at which point Maria hightailed it down there to make sure that he couldn't find her.
She certainly was very determined to keep them apart.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, she stopped at nothing. Towards the end, she was looking to destroy Tina, just like Gabrielle said.
Objection.
Sustained.
You can object and sustain all you like. It happens to be the truth.
Strike the last remarks from the record, please. Mr. Holden, when I want your opinion, I'll ask for it.
Mr. Holden, did you have a conversation a day or two before Mrs. Roberts died with her?
I tried. See, normally Maria was very calm and collected, but those last few days she was starting to lose it. When she talked, it was like she was, I don't know, like she was desperate.
Objection.
Your Honor, the witness has known Mrs. Roberts since childhood. I'm sure that he can recognize a change in her mental state.
Sustained.
No more questions? Your witness.
Mr. Holden, you said that you accepted money from Maria Roberts to take the defendant out of the country. Is that...
I did.
Well, therefore, you're just as guilty of scheming and manipulating
Now,
as he was.
wait just a minute. It was a totally different thing here. I never meant any harm for Tina. I care about her. I always have.
Oh, do you care about her now?
Yes, I do.
Did you recently purchase a very expensive diamond bracelet for her?
What if I did?
Did you purchase the bracelet?
Yes.
You must be very fond of her.
As a matter of fact, I love her.
Have you proposed marriage?
You know, you're blowing more smoke here than an old steam engine.
Holden, just answer.
No, wait. I can see exactly what you're trying to do here. You're trying to make it look like I would lie for Tina because I love her.
I asked the court to strike these remarks.
No, leave it in the record because I want everyone to know what you're trying to pull here.
Strike the last 2 comments from the record, please. Mr. Holden, answer the questions, please, and keep your opinions to yourself.
I love Tina more than anything. But I do not have to lie to protect her. Because everyone, including the district attorney, knows that Maria was capable of murder.
Your Honor, these remarks are totally irrelevant.